So hello kind viewers of this video. First time ever trying to make a video in this format. Today it's 2004 Renault Megane RenaultSport 225. 15 years old, but still pretty nippy. Fun little vehicle to go out for a drive. Best part is its price. I got this car for and for that money there's a whole other car in it. It's French, it's quite comfortable. This car has some features that my 2003 Audi RS6 didn't have, like for example auto switch off lights, keyless go, and with a start stop button. And anyway, just stop rambling and get driving here. So hill starts are always a bit of a pain in the ass in this car. You'll get a little smell of clutch burning always. And let's try to merge with the traffic without crashing into anyone. And we're heading to Dartmoor, or we're on Dartmoor, would be most accurate to say. English B roads are pretty sweet, I have to agree with that opinion. So let's just see, let's go out for a little drive in this, and I'll just share some of my opinions about this car. I mean, I'm hardly an expert in cars or driving, so kind of a somebody who is just generally loves driving and is interested in cars kind of opinion from that angle. So before this car I've never really had any other cars besides Audis and Subarus, so never had even a two-wheel drive car, so it's a first for me too. What can I say? I mean, it's pretty nippy. This one has been remapped to around 260 horsepower, so it goes pretty swiftly. I mean, the other car I drive here is a Smart with 50 kilowatts or something in those lines, so this car is pretty quick. First car with a twin scrollers turbo. That's also a surprisingly handy engineering feature. The pickup is from down low, and it goes through the rev range quite evenly. So it starts from below 2k almost and goes to 5,500 RPM. So that's if you're buying a turbo car, that would be a little thing to look for. Nothing special otherwise. This car has lowered springs, so it's a bit bumpier than the stock one. Stock brakes, 4-pot Brembos in the front and single pistons at the back. Another thing that the Audi RS6 also had, single piston brakes at the back, but this car is way smaller, so I suppose it makes sense here. Just got the cheapest discs and pads on it, so try to keep the driving within reason. I'm not looking to end up in this bush here, most likely some rocks in the bush, so keep it nice and legal, as they say. But otherwise, I mean, I'm not an expert, hardly a race car driver, but it points and shoots pretty nice. Tires are Uniroyal RenaultSport 3s. I don't know, I've been looking at these tires for ages when looking for cheap quality tires, and this like seemed the opportune moment to try these tires out. I don't think they are really like sports tires even, but you know, for a casual drive like we're on right now, I mean, they're pretty okay. It was a bit damp before and I didn't get them to squeak or anything. Of course, as always, I'm driving very reasonably too, so never forget that. Keeping it strictly legal. But yeah, as you can hear, makes all the right noises and whatnot. It has a pod filter for intake on the intake, and forged bypass valve or something. I'm not really. Yeah, I think it's forged. I mean, I looked at the spec when buying this car, so these little right tuning items always make the car nicer to drive. But I can't say for sure. Yeah, it was a forged bypass valve as far as I know. And if I'm not mistaken, either it has like some sort of Scorpion back box, or the back box is removed at all. There's this thing that they do on these cars. Again, me being a filthy pleb and not really a Renault fan, so I didn't pay much attention to it. I just got it because my friend suggested me to get this car, saying it's a track sleeper and pretty nice to drive. So also I have a Subaru, not on hand but somewhere else, and it's getting a twin scroll turbo upgrade or alteration more, because an STI 2.5 liter European market model, it had a bad turbo, so mine will be changed out for a twin scroll, which is strictly a JDM setup. So I was curious. So little technical difficulties. I knew it's gonna happen. The fact that the phone wants to fall off from the screen because it's rattling hard. But anyway, I was talking about the twin scroll turbo, so I was just interested in trying out the twin scroll setup on a car, and what it might feel like. And as I started off with, I mean, this car was 1,300 pounds all in all, so I mean, in the rest of the Europe you can't get something like this for this cheap. So for this money I was really curious to try out what they're talking about. Talking about this Renault being a track sleeper and also the twin scroll setup. So this is how I ended up with this car. Of course, now we're on sheep country, so just gotta watch out. Try not to run over any sheep. And it's getting a bit dark too, so let's drive on a little bit further. I know there's a pocket at the side of the road which I'm gonna pull in. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, pretty sweet little piece of kit. Pretty nippy. Let's get some air. Yeah, that's a funny thing about two-wheel drive cars. I've never experienced it. At that moment, the drive axle was light for a second, and then it like kind of grabs air, so to say, meaning that the car, the drive wheels won't have any grip, and it sounds like it's airborne, which it really wasn't. But just the moment when it revs really hard and everything goes light on the drive axle, it's just kind of funny. There's a little nice corner. As I said, keeping it strictly legal. That was a big bump there, but as long as we didn't lose the tire, we're all good. I should have paid more attention. As I said, yeah, keeping it strictly legal. I'm hardly a race car driver, and you don't want to end up on this field head first. But yeah, I suppose this is the place actually I wanted to pull into, so I'm just gonna turn around in a few seconds here. There's a inn at the right side of the road here. Wanted to make some extra video, but it's getting really dark already, so yeah, I think this is gonna be it. So I'm just gonna just gonna upload this video, this little drive video, and see. I wanted to make a review about this car, like kind of funny Top Gear style little piece, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'll stick this little video up online and see what the reception is. I mean, can I get a few views for a change? Because when they removed monetization from my channel, I lost all the views too. I used to get a few hundred every video, so let's see. But anyway, yeah, a short little quick drive video. I mean, what's there to say? What's there so much to say? I mean, I'm not that qualified to assess a car too thoroughly. I mean, pretty fun to drive. Haven't taken it out much, so mostly the miles I've covered, which is about 1,000 more or less, has been on motorway. I've driven it twice to London from where I am, so that's about 2 times 450 miles or so. So mostly motorway miles, and you know, obviously for motorway it's not the most comfortable car. I mean, no sports car really, except for larger German luxury sports cars. But yeah, I mean, what's there to ramble on? Just a little quick short drive. Hoping to get the review video done if I have the enthusiasm and the inspiration to do it. I hope I have. But anyway, yeah, if you were watching and if it's not too dark on the video, then thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video, I hope. Yeah, when the YouTube millions come in. Anyway, cheers.